Okay, does someone want to genuinely want to do the recap, or should I?
I'm on it, Will.
All right, go for it, dude. Bring us in.
I, Artomis Stormcaller, Lion of the Deep, hero of Dincairn, have witnessed the making of a great new ally here in Bligdenstone. He goes by the name of Jimmy.
I will kill you and your progeny.
You can certainly try, but Jimmy will strike you down, for he is mighty. Alongside our new companion, the Hesk crew traveled through Bligdenstone, and generally didn't really do a ton. But we made our way to the marketplace, where there was an incursion of oozes. We set upon them with great haste, and slew them, verily, with the aid of our new albino orcish ally, whose name is Ilsa, I believe, or Isla. We'll go with Isla. Will nodded. That means it's good.
It was a nod of, you know what, that works.
Close enough. We then had another meeting with the guild master slash sort of king, Mr. Diggermatic, who seemed like he might eventually allow Hester to barter some sort of talk with Mr. Goldwhisker. But now we find ourselves here in the market with a few new items, a few more coin, and ready to go find our friend, Ms. Nomi Pashutter.
Indeed. Yeah, you guys, you ran into Dorbo Diggermatic, the kind of official head of Bligdenstone right now, along with his wife Senny. And you guys had spent some time touring the city, trying to get to the Trader's Grotto because Jimmy, figured that was the best place to head to find Nomi Pathshutter, who had asked you guys a very brief question, a little while ago, the other night. And you were kind of trying to clarify that up, but Dorbo has given you a spell gem, specifically a level 2 spell gem, as kind of a thanks. And you guys had to do a group charisma check to see if this action here and the way you've conducted yourselves has kind of ingratiated you more with the deep gnomes here, because it's very important, should you want to kind of win them over, that these actions that you take have positive effects. You found a couple of interesting items out of the oozes, and a lot of people, what's happening in this courtyard right now, this grotto for traders, is a lot of people, families specifically, are now taking away bodies, helping those that have been injured. And you see, as you have just kind of spoken with Isla here for a moment, you actually hear like some kind of large echoing footsteps, like, and you see coming to our left, or to the west, or from the west, a large earth elemental come through kind of this pathway, and then coming from around them is the familiar feminine figure of Nomi Pathshutter. And this earth elemental kind of takes up position behind it, kind of guarding the entranceway. And Nomi starts walking through, talking to people very quickly, till she sees the lot of you. And she approaches, and she's very quickly like, hello, my new friends. It seems you've already found a way to make a little bit of peace in this city here. Are you all right?
Yeah, quite so. I believe we have acquitted ourselves well, and hopefully the market will be a little safer in our I was going to say absence, but I guess now that we have killed all the oozes, is this normal? Are there a lot of oozes here?
It's funny that you should ask that, actually. Unfortunately, over the last several months, there have been increasing numbers of them appearing all over Bligdenstone. And you, Hester, would know that this has been happening particularly bad for you and your clan.
Yep.
You guys have been taking a very large amount of the kind of the battles here in your own little warren, while the rest of Bligdenstone you're now seeing and kind of hearing has only been getting, stragglers here and there, but they are causing damage and lives are being lost. And that's what kind of Nomi fills you in on. She's like, over the last few months, more and more of them have been appearing. This is the first time they've ever gotten into the grotto. The second worst incursion was in the caves of Clatter, where our smithies rest and reside, and we lost 2 of them. And unfortunately, we are only left with Miss Coalfoot, and she is working doubly as hard, but now with half of the equipment she should have, as quite a bit of that was lost with the attack as well. So yes, a lot of the... If you have not noticed, I don't know where you've been this morning. And Jimmy pops up. He's like, "Oh, I've been showing them all around the city. Don't you worry about it, Miss Passshutter. I was showing them here because I figured this is the best place to meet you." She's like, Jimmy, yes. Thank you. That'll be... And Jimmy's like, "But don't worry, I got them here for you, and I'll keep showing them around the city." She's like, shh, Jimmy, shh. It's okay. It's all right.
I mean...
I'm talking to our friends here.
Technically, he's right, though. I mean, like, we saved some lives, and you are actually here.
She pauses and kind of, like, has to stop herself. Her eyes, like, flutter like she's about to lose. And she's like, "Thank you, Jimmy, for your wonderful help." And he's like, "Oh, shucks, it's no big deal, Miss Passshutter. I'm just happy to be here." And she's like, "Yes, no, if your... I'm sure quite wonderful tour with Jimmy has shown you anything, we have had to close off a fair number of burrows and tunnels here within the city, from oozes, the were-rats, and, a rather frightening thing that I wanted to talk to you all about. Perhaps we could do that somewhere else while the people here are recovering. Have you found yourselves a place to stay? Did you stay at the foaming mug? Yes. Okay.
Indeed.
Good. Well, I guess we could head back there, or we could perhaps just a little side tunnel would be good for now.
Absolutely.
And Jimmy's just like, "But what's wrong with my house? It's cool. My mom's there. She can get us like some drinks. It'd be a good time." Nomi's like, "Perhaps later, Jimmy. I think just later would be fine."
No, Miss Passshutter is correct. I wouldn't want to intrude on your lovely mother's home anymore.
Exactly. I couldn't do that to her. I know the dinner rush will be coming around, and a lot of the miners will be coming into the foaming mug.
She didn't seem like the sort to mind.
I'm sure she didn't. Let's right down here to the left, please.
Yep, that's fine.
Sure.
Jimmy, perhaps you could check in with people here within the market and see if your expert services could be of any use. And he's like, "Oh, you know what? That's a great idea. I'll make sure everybody's okay. You got it, Miss Passshutter." And he gives a little salute and trots off. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for you." No, and she leads you down a little side tunnel, and she goes, "What a welcome into a city, right? You haven't even been here a day, and you're running into oozes and unfortunate meetings with our leaders. I promise you, it's not always like this." She just kind of stares at you all. She's like,
Continue. What do you want us to say to that?
No, I'm sorry. I got lost in thought. Sorry. No, it's
well, if I could just say, we have experienced many hardships in many different cities in the Underdark, and although oozes have not occurred before, I would say that this city is on par, and you are doing quite well.
Indeed, we have had much worse welcomes.
My God, what have you people been dealing with?
My thoughts kind of exactly. What? Is this anything that you were claiming about demons of a sort when...
Yes, no, not just of a sort, demon lords. the most powerful infernal, abyssal presences known to humankind.
Right. And you've seen these demon
Yes,
lords?
they are stalking the Underdark as we speak. They may well already be among us.
Wonderful. Just fucking wonderful. And she's just like head in her hands.
It's a real chipper bunch. I've been having these kinds of conversations since I stumbled upon these folk.
No, this is good. This is great. I don't have enough on my plate already. But perhaps the lot of you, and I sincerely hate to request anything of you, especially after the goodwill you showed in the Trader's Grotto. But perhaps there is something you could investigate for me that would very much help the city and ourselves, especially in the protection of our city, so that we may therefore turn towards this demon lord problem, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around.
one overwhelmingly dire problem before the other, I suppose. You had mentioned something the night prior about Entomoc's boon, I believe.
Yes. And while I would love you all to help me in the finding of Entomoc's boon, the problem is we don't know where it is. It is a local legend, so to speak. There was supposedly, when our ancestors were here in Blichtenstone, a place blessed by our gods, and when we summoned the earth elementals in the Gale of Dur to help us in the protection and the construction of our cities, Entomoc's boon would make them stronger, healthier, respond to us, more intelligent in sense. But there is no record of how to find it. Supposedly, it's close to the outskirts of the city, but there is something that if we could get rid of, that could be far more helpful, and then I could perhaps spare more time and resources for the hunt of Entomoc's boon. You see, almost like its evil twin, there is a blight that has infested our city. We call it Ogremark's Bane. And Ogremark's is essentially the evil elemental prince of the Earthen Plane. And somehow, when the city fell, a bit of their essence came forth and turned the earth elementals that we were using in the past against us. And we believe that it is now trapped and lurking in what we have now called the Rock Blight. A series of burrows and caverns close to the caves of Clatter, and the cultivation caves as well, where we grow some of our food. You see, the thing is we rely on these elementals perhaps more than we should, but they've always been wonderful allies. And if this Ogremark's Bane continues to slip into their minds, erase our control, and turn them against us, we are but a small people, and while, yes, we have some power and means, it would be a slaughter if it were to get out and release amongst all our allies. So, and she's kind of looking at you pleadingly, perhaps you could help me in finding exactly where Ogremark's Bane is, and if possible, put it to rest?
Ma'am, I would like to help in any way we can, but my understanding is that Ogremark's Bane is not a... Putting it to rest is simple terms if you're going to go shoot a dog in the head. My
Wow,
understanding,
that was dark.
my understanding of Ogremark's Bane is you are talking about a transparent magical force. How
That's
would
just it. We don't know if it's truly transparent. None of us have been around long enough to truly see it and to know whether it's that. What we do know from what scriptures remain of our original ancestors is that it could possess statues, elementals, Galeb Dur, anything crafted of the earth that could move, it could inhabit. And I would hope there is some means. I could continue to search for records of it. We don't know if it's still even within the rock blight. And that's just it. We just need to know for sure. And then perhaps I can devise some way to trap it, perhaps, unless you yourselves find a way to get rid of it. I'm not quite sure.
May I ask if, should we find this bane within the rock blight, do you believe it would lead to the boon?
I'm not entirely sure that it would. Not knowing where Entomoc's boon is, perhaps it could. Maybe it would be drawn there, but I would be reluctant to take something that is well known for tainting the very thing that Entomoc's boon blesses to such a place, if it could go there. But if you were to find it, and you decided to follow it, perhaps, if it was something that you could see, and it led you there, then of course, wonderful, and we can just hope that it doesn't destroy Entomoc's boon with its power.
I think Scylla looks to Starcaller. If this bane is as strong as we have no reason to believe it would not be, then perhaps the boon is stronger or equal, in which case it would be quite valuable. Nomi and these people have much on their plates, and perhaps if we were to use it to find the boon, they wouldn't have to worry about purchasing new dishware.
You, as ever, have an elegant way of speaking, Scylla. I agree. This could be quite the pardon the double, quite a boon for Blingdenstone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would ingratiate us with the Diggermatics, and that would only serve our ends.
Oh, believe me, if you do this for us, I will make sure that it is well known, and we could almost double the amount of earth elementals that could come to our call, and it would help us pave the way towards peace within the city, solid defense, and perhaps, if it's true, not that I truly doubt you, there's so much unexplained stuff going on here in the Underdark, perhaps we could even loan some to you. The enclave that I'm a part of in our quarry, we do have means of creating things to control the earth elementals, and perhaps we could give you one.
I'm tempted, but didn't you just say that Entomoc's Bane would turn it against us?
Ogremark's Bane, and I wouldn't. No. If you were to find the boon, if you were to find the boon after we discover whatever it is about Ogremark's Bane, of course, then, no. I would not.
I see.
I would not risk your lives like that.
Seems like a bad plan, but no, I understand what you're saying now.
Yes, no, we wouldn't. I wouldn't give you something like that, only to have you run at Ogremark's Bane, so to speak, and then have whatever earth elemental you summon with it come back and obliterate you. They are quite fearsome creatures.
Yes. Well, I for one would be happy to investigate the ruin and see what we can find. The blight.
Wonderful. Thank you. But please don't rush yourselves. Rest. Enjoy yourselves. Take care of your wounds. And perhaps tomorrow morning, after you've had some time to familiarize yourselves with the city, we could meet over by the caves of Clatter, and we can get you into the rock blight. Does this sound fair? Of course, I don't want to push you. You are free to do what you need.
It sounds like what must be done.
I don't really think of anything else we'd need to do right now either, other than go and stay another night with Jimmy. So if you need to expedite this process, I'm sure we could find a way.
You know what? I wouldn't want to deprive him and his dear mother of your company, Hester. They do seem to like you quite a bit.
They are very friendly.
Know why. He's just like burying his head in the rock.
Jimmy, as far as I know, no one's quite sure who his father is, so he tends to kind of latch on to strong, hurtful male individuals.
Yeah.
That's what they call me.
But who knows with that boy? I could not say. But yes, I have some tunnels to get back to closing and meeting up with the rest of the Enclave, but I will not take any more of your time, please. Also, if you have not visited the Ruby in the Rough, our temple here within the city, it is quite beautiful. And I'm sure you would find some great silence there from Jimmy, should you need it. But thank you again. And she bows and runs off.
Yes. Well, it seems like we have ourselves a little adventure to go on. This could be quite the experience.
It is always one.
Yes, and Hester, I would never presume that you would join us in this, but I think it might go a long way toward your own goals with your community.
No, I agree, and I think for better or worse, as long as you'll have me, working together has gone all right so far. So
Indeed.
I wouldn't ruin a good thing, so to speak.
Yes. I love the thing you do where you're basically invisible all the time. It's pretty neat.
Is that what was happening?
It's handy. It is very handy.
Oh yeah, no. When he walks between the lanterns, he just completely disappears. It's incredible.
I honestly wasn't sure if you had noticed, but I suppose you not noticing is kind of the point.
Yeah. The nice thing is you keep talking, so I can always see where you are. You
Yes,
seem quite at home in the gloom, as it were.
it is a skill set. But regardless, let's go check out this ruby temple and we picked up a couple of things in the market. Perhaps we dole out some wares. I have a couple things I would want to gift you all.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I actually might make some extra purchases as well.
Sure.
They are back up on their feet.
Yes, I'm sure anybody who hasn't died or had their livelihood destroyed and disintegrated would be happy to have some extra coin.
I quite agree.
All right.
Kind of restart
so you guys,
the economy, as it were.
Yeah, give it a good old jump start. Okay, so you guys head back to the Trader's Grotto, and you do find some people kind of resetting back up their shops. Trade's kind of happening again, but there's a little bit of a gloomy mood going around the place. But you guys made some lists, sent me some items. Do you guys want to talk about any of the things that you purchased at all?
Sure.
You don't have to. You could leave it as full surprises for our audience. I just didn't know. Sometimes it's cool because it's like, I got this new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to do it like a fashion show. Like, Artomis is like strolling through the market, and then like you see him coming out, and he has like new gloves on. He's got some new shoes on. Got a something heavy in his pouch. You know, just what a day, you know.
Just montage, walks through one end of a tent, walks out, he's got some new items on, walks through
Is that
another.
a new magic item, or are you just happy to see me?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, Scylla's got some new gloves. And for anyone watching, they see her purchase a decanter. And then she walks to a different stand and she purchases a large wooden basin and puts both in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Oh,
All
my.
right. Good stuff. Yeah, the gnomes are like, sure, whatever.
Whatever you want.
Yep. You are giant fish woman. We will not stop you. So you guys, you run around, you purchase some things. I know specifically, Starcaller, you were very interested in getting your ballista fixed.
Yes.
And Nomi had kind of mentioned it, and I imagine when you're asking around the Trader's Grotto, they tell you that the Caves of Clatter towards the south, where the Diggermatics have their kind of meeting hall, is where to head for the smithies. Should you want to kind of inquire, and they tell you that the individual that you want to speak with, the kind of like one remaining smith within town, is Smelky Coalfoot.
All right.
I would also say Scylla would be hesitant to leave Starcaller so soon after everything that happened with Sephel, so she would be tagging along.
Sure. Yeah. So it's up to you guys. You can head south towards the Caves of Clatter. You can explore other parts of the city, should you want to. You did pass through the Ruby and the Rough, where you spoke to kind of a young priest there, who just kind of had their hands full, and Jimmy had like very briefly been like, this is the temple, it's pretty cool, but let's keep going to the grotto, you know?
Yeah.
So you guys can head back there, or you can continue to move about.
I think before we, Scylla and I at least head down towards Diggermatic Hall and check in on that smith, I also am looking for a tattoo artist. I want to know if I can find anyone here who can do a magically inclined bit of ink.
Okay. Roll me a D100, please.
Ooh. That's a spicy meatball.
So spicy.
35.
35. Okay. Nobody here in the grotto knows of anybody who works in that particular kind of artistry and magical nature. But considering it's more of an artisan thing, they tell you that perhaps Miss Coalfoot would know maybe a little bit more about that.
Oh, great. Proverbially, 2 birds but with 1 stone. Very good.
All right. Is anybody else looking for something specific, or are you guys ready to just kind of keep your train rolling?
Good
I'm ready to
travel
follow.
along.
Okay. All right. So you guys are heading to the Caves of Clatter for the smith?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mhm.
All right. So you guys start heading south through the city, and this has been the one quiet moment you have because Jimmy ain't around to lead you right now. So you end up heading south through the Trader's Grotto, and you end up back in the Ruby of the Rough, and I'm sure you kind of quickly ask for a direction, and they point you south, and as you are kind of leaving through that area, that young priest sees you all again, and very quickly approaches. He's like, excuse me, sirs and madam, could I have just a moment of your time?
Sure. What
Whew. Thank you. Thank you for stopping. Well, are you perhaps busy?
We were doing a bit of shopping, and but we don't have anything pressing until tomorrow when we meet Miss Pathshudder again.
Ah, okay. Wonderful. Could you come this way with me for but a moment? And they lead you kind of back into the temple near.
Can I do an insight check on this guy?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Roll it.
Is he just like super nervous and jittery, or is this some sketchy shit?
He like turns around and he's walking, like holds out his hand and he's like, I'm Glyphic Shroomlight, by the way. I know we met each other very briefly earlier. I couldn't remember if I told you my name. Things have been so hectic.
7. I trust him implicitly.
You definitely aren't getting a bad vibe off of him. You can see like he's a little sweaty. His robes are a bit, creased, and there are a lot of people here within the Ruby and the Rough, and you see most of the people are actually tending to the recently deceased from the grotto. And he kind of brings you over to one of these stair-like holes that you guys can see on our main map here. And they go, are any of you perhaps, this is such a weird question to ask. Are any of you familiar with spirits of any kind?
Actually, Scylla and I have put several unquiet spirits to rest in our time together.
Oh, thank the Earth Caller. This is so good. Thank you. Oh, just what I needed. I was praying, and the Earth Caller provides. Listen. Oh, go
It
ahead.
sounds as yes. Are you asking for assistance with a dangerous matter? And she's like reaching for her sword.
No. And he's like looking around. He's like trying to like stop you from drawing your sword. He's like, no, there's nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong.
Say it a little bit louder. I think people will believe you.
Everything's okay. They're just happy to be here. No, please don't do that. Everybody's on edge enough, clearly. Perhaps. I'm not really sure. I just got this position, and I'm in a bit over my head. But some of the older folks within the vicinity like to come here later in the evenings when everybody is either gone to dinner or to bed, and they have come to me saying they have heard, and he like puts up his hands in air quotations, wails, like wailing and moaning, and small figures, perhaps running in and out of the catacombs right down here. And they like gesture down the staircase beside you. And I'm just looking for anybody that could discreetly investigate this for me without alarming
So there
anyone.
is an issue. And she goes to pull her sword.
No issue! None whatsoever!
Very
So silly.
confused.
No, so this is one of those I believe Sephel had a big word for it. I think it's called discretion. So
Yes.
this man does want our help, but he doesn't want everyone else to know that he is in need of our help. So we'll help him, but we'll do it quietly.
God, I'm so proud of you.
Ah!
Yes, that's exactly what I need. Discretion. Thank you for understanding. Yes, again, no experience in this matter. Don't know how to go about this. Clearly, as you said, you have some experience. If this is something you could just go down the stairs and just look around and be like, no ghost, and come back up and tell me that with surety, I would be so happy.
How large are the catacombs, brother?
Oh, not very large. It's mostly familial headstones, and everybody's, just kind of thrown into the bedrock. Not really. That was a very poor joke. Some of our more discerning members have full-fledged tombs and sarcophagi, but the rest of us are just put in the tone. You could just walk down, big loop, and you're back. No worry, Bob's your uncle.
No,
Bob's not your uncle. I don't know who Bob is.
He's not.
no, this
Good,
is
good.
This is one of those gnomish things we talked about that we don't understand, but we don't question.
I think Shroomlight was it?
Yes. You can call me Glyphic. You don't have to call me by my last name.
Do you feel as though you are perhaps smart enough for this position? It seems as though you are underqualified, and perhaps this is the problem.
Oh no!
I would be happy to help you with this.
Help is what I need. Thank you for being very discerning.
There is a place for you in society.
Thanks for thinking so. I'm
We will help.
just trying my best.
I was simply going to suggest before my compatriot tore your entire life direction apart.
We don't need to go that far. We can
that-
just breeze
that-
right over that.
You go to the foaming mug and perhaps dampen your senses for a short while. You seem very overwhelmed.
I would love to do so. But after, if I know there's not a ghost problem or not, could you just...
Yep. No,
All right,
that's
we got it. You know,
Yep.
We will uncover.
let's do it right now. This will take like 2 seconds. Come on.
Yep.
Thank you.
don't talk to anybody.
I kind of have to. It's part of my job.
Well, don't be yourself for a few minutes.
You know, all I do is mask here.
Brutal.
All I do is
be yourself.
he turns around. He's just like, and it's like he's a totally different person. He walks off, and he's like, "Miss So and So, so nice to see you.
He's got
Very
an
sorry about the
accent
husband."
now.
Yeah,
Wow, this guy is terrifying.
It seems he is charismatic, but not bright.
Indeed. Well, I don't know what that's like. Let's go. And Stark
call
Holland
that trauma.
blithely walks down to the catacombs without a care in the world.
okay.
Yeah, I think Scylla's gonna follow Starcaller because this is like his jam.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just
this is just
taking up the rear.
walk down, make sure there's no ghosts, walk out. You're
Yeah.
good.
I have never heard of underground whales, but I look forward to seeing what they are like.
I believe they're very rare and very loud. That's what I heard.
That is what he said.
It was so
Yes.
delayed, but it was the exact joke I was waiting for.
So as you guys head down this staircase, you go down about 15-20 feet, and then you enter into this S-shaped corridor that goes to the west, goes north, and then continues west until you reach these finely carved stone doors that have these beautiful reliefs of gnomes, mining and communicating with earthen elementals. It makes a beautiful mural upon the doors, and you see that there's no lock, but one of the doors is slightly ajar.
Well, looks like something perhaps corporeal came through here. I'm gonna.
I will stand to your side and be ready for anything to come through if you would like to open it.
No, but of course. Sarkar will step up to the door there, Will, and I'm gonna give like a once over just to see if there's anything. To me, like the fact that it's actually physically open suggests something that has a body and it's not actually a ghost. But are there any like footprints around here or anything?
I will give you the choice of survival or investigation. Survival for tracks, investigation for kind of other information.
Oh, well, I'm much better at one of those than the other, and it's not investigation.
I think Scylla would help before opening the door, if you want to take that.
Oh, he would love to.
How you helping him? You just like
I think
shark nose, just
No, I think she's examining half the room, the floor, while he does maybe the other half, so we can do faster.
Sure.
faster.
Okay. I like how the ranger isn't doing that.
Yeah.
He stands in the back.
We'll bring him in eventually.
Sorry, you guys seem like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
What'd you get there, Starcaller?
That's a 10.
A 10? Okay. You see that there are quite a few tracks going in, all of smallish size. Looks like perhaps children's tracks and kind of like adult-sized footprints of the gnomish people. You realize that there's definitely no slot for a lock, no chains on the doors, and if you kind of ever so slightly push on the door, you realize it slides and moves extremely easily.
Ooh.
So anybody could get in here.
Beautiful.
And the doors don't make a sound.
That's gorgeous. The craftsmanship, incredible.
The security, not.
Yes, no, they're better at one than the other.
Great craftsmanship, shoddy security.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pop on my divine sense, and scan for celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet.
Okay. You don't pick up on any of those within 60 feet of you.
Cool. I'm gonna turn back to my two compatriots. I don't think there's actually a ghost here. I think we might be dealing with something altogether more pleasant. But please let me take the lead and don't come out swinging. Just in case, I think we might have a misunderstanding on our hands.
That sounds fine. Mr. Starcaller, if you do want a little bit of discretion, I could also scout ahead, stay to the shadows, see what's up, before you have to worry about taking out any blades or such.
Yeah. Quite a fine idea. You might be able to slip right in there, and I'll do a closer huddle, so we're not just yelling in the middle of the hallway.
Sure.
I can sense no fell presence here, and there's footprints, children's footprints going in and out, and the acolyte mentioned a small figure, so there may just be a family squatting down here. And there's also a chance that they are masking their presence somewhere. Also, I don't know if I can see through doors, but there's a decent chance we'll walk into friendlies. 50-50, friendlies or foes. It's kind of a toss-up, and I wouldn't want any collateral damage. That would not help our cause.
No, of course not. I will be quiet, I will be discreet, and I will ask questions first, shoot later.
Very good.
So I will slip through the door, using my deft ranger abilities, sticking to the shadows and remaining mostly invisible while doing so.
Okay. What's your dark vision range? And then can you roll me a stealth check as well?
My dark vision is 150 feet.
Holy smokes.
And I will roll said stealth check at advantage.
Unbelievable.
Because that is one of my Sverfneblin camouflage usages.
Nice.
Okay. 23 for stealth.
Okay. You enter in, and go ahead and move your token for me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And you see that as you move into these areas, you see that there's kind of there's alcoves. Okay. Every 10 feet or so, there's a wall that divides them. And as you look in, you see what looks like kind of a central headstone along the back cavern wall that has a family name. And then very much like memorials that we have, just lists of names. And then on the left-hand wall and on the right-hand wall, you find more of these kind of headstones with more familiar names. And then you find within the back wall, you see that there are like small slots almost. They almost look like P.O. boxes, old P.O. boxes, little doors that just slot in there. And there's hundreds of them. And as you continue to look down, you see that there are dozens of these alcoves going To the west, you see a little bit more of them to the south of you, and you see that there are 2 rounded walls to the south of where your character is that seem to lead into another kind of open area. And while you're there, why don't you go ahead and roll me a perception check?
Sure. That is 22.
Okay. You feel like you heard a voice coming from the southwest, like the whispers, bare whispers of what sounds like someone talking.
I'm going to briefly reappear in front of the door so I can make eye contact with Starcaller, and I will place a finger to my mouth and point in that southwest direction, and then I will start walking that way myself.
Okay.
I appreciate it. You are invisible
Fair.
at all times.
Just
That is fair.
making hand signs.
Well, that's why I said I
Starcaller's
would
just
come
staring into
back.
nothing.
I'm
Okay.
going to come back in so you can... I know this.
Okay, I will say that if I understand the traits correctly, you're invisible if I have dark vision, so I can only see you if you're in like a lit area, and we're in catacombs.
So I am invisible to you if you are relying on your dark vision to see. So if there is absolutely no lighting in this area...
There's not.
Okay, so no, I am completely invisible to you. Never mind. Then I'll literally, like, Starcaller's just sitting there looking through the door, and he just hears literally, like, 6 inches below his face. Shh,
You all right?
Mr. Starcaller, it's me. Remember that ability that you explained to me?
Nice.
I think I heard something to the southwest. I'm gonna go in that direction and check it out. If you are going to follow, do so very quietly.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
I've already left. There's no
Cool.
response.
So if I might implore you to stay here for just a moment, I'll let you know.
I will watch the door.
Very good, and I'll put my hood up and I'll follow in as well.
Okay. You make me a stealth check. Hester, you kind of moved into these central rows, and you realize that you're now standing amongst 2 large kind of sheltered areas filled with these very nice, in some places, and otherwise broken sarcophagi. And what's interesting about them, as you're kind of like peeking around and moving quietly forward, is in a couple places you see written on them. And have you guys ever seen like I forget exactly the real term for them, but in like some of the old medieval era churches in Europe, on the floors there are almost like these laid down statues of knights. And they're not fully, I don't think they're technically tombs, but it's just like, gosh, I really wish I knew the term, but it's like a full body statue of them laying down in a memorial like position, hands over their chest, sword and shield. You see a couple of these, Hester, are similar of that, but are depicting these gnomes in what look like this very bulky stone-like armor. And on a couple of them, you see the words Burrow Warden next to these kind of knightly looking reliefs and sarcophagi. Artemis, what'd you get for a stealth check?
31.
Holy smokes. Yep, okay.
I'm sorry, you said Night Warden?
Burrow Warden. Burrow Warden. Warden.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes,
Not to take away from your 31. Go ahead.
it's fine. With my snazzy new slippers I got, I'm just gonna like walk along this wall, like I got my slippers a spider climb out.
Yeah,
so
you
I'm
do.
just gonna like work my way on like a vertical surface, just so I stay like truly and well out of like visual range.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Absolutely.
Hester, are you kind of proceeding quietly and moving forward towards the southwest as well?
Yes.
Okay. Make another perception check as well,
Okay.
as a little bit of time has passed.
A 12 for Artemis.
12. Okay.
14.
14.
Hester.
You guys do hear what sounds like whispering that's a little bit closer to you, but you still can't make out the words that are being said.
Mm.
What do you guys want to do here?
I'll travel further down this central hallway.
Okay.
Are there any names in particular that stand out? You said that some of these tombs look like they've been broken.
I will just say with like your perception, you look at them, you see that there are like some stalagmites and stalactites that have been forming within these catacombs because they have been untouched for so long. Like the new settlers have only really been here, you would know, for I think technically by the book it's only been like a year that they've been here.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like they've been down here too often. And some of these stalagmites, stalactites have fallen and broken some of the sarcophagi. So it doesn't look like it's been any kind of vandalism of any sort.
Sure. Okay.
And you see, as you kind of proceed farther to the west through this area, you see on the far wall are more of these kind of alcove-like areas with more names. And as you're walking through, I would say with your particular knowledge and where you're from, you don't recognize any of these names.
Okay.
But you see about 5 of these particular sarcophagi that say Burrow Warden on them and have the kind of statue relief of these stone-plated deep gnome warriors.
Is that a... Can I do a check on that? Is that a name, a position? Like, what is Burrow Warden?
Roll me a history check.
Okay.
Don't do enough history.
Oh, when I used to be good at those.
Are we back down to a no intelligence party like Cave of the Damned?
Potentially.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, I got a +1.
All
All
right.
right, that's good. You're the smart one now.
Oh no,
Oh god.
we are doomed.
Hey, Scylla, way to go.
So I got an 8 for history.
Okay. You've not heard it mentioned before.
Okay.
If you clearly get the sense, though, you can piece it together here that this seems like some kind of knightly order that perhaps existed when the city was first founded.
At 8. Still heading towards those voices.
You're not sure how many there are. You just hear whispering coming from the southwest still.
Okay.
And both of you go ahead and continue to roll me stealth checks. So let's have another one.
Okay.
Absolutely. I love my cloak of elven kind. 23.
Okay.
25.
Okay.
Stealth
You guys you're moving so quietly. How do you want to proceed forward?
I see this like there's like this curve in the wall at the head, and Artemis is kind of like crawling Spider-Man like against the wall, and then is gonna like just work his way around to the outside of the curve so he has a better vantage point looking out. Just kind of like up in like the crook where the wall meets the ceiling, just like.
Okay. All right. What about you, Hester?
Hester's just walking down the frickin' center, just like staying low to the ground, staying quiet, watching where he's stepping so he's not like tripping over anything. But
Sure.
he knows that his natural stealth is far superior to anything his Leonin friend could muster with his boots.
Jeez. Okay, you both kind of turn these corners and you hear these whispers, and you look to the south and you see this small figure, a deep gnome, wearing what looks like this stone-plated armor, just standing there. And it seems like their back is to you, and it just seems like they're talking to themselves, kind of muttering.
A child. Okay. They're
All deep gnome are small. Like, we don't know if it's a child. You're still like, I'm gonna put 3 arrows in its skull.
Interesting. Does
They have not noticed you.
okay? How far away are we, Will?
You are
Yeah, keep
You're
that
30
map
feet.
reveal going,
You,
buddy.
Artemis, are 30 feet away. You, Hester, are 15 feet away.
All right. Seeing how I can't actually see Hester, I'm gonna make my way back down to the ground and get within about like 10 to 15 feet of this creature. And I'm gonna take my hood off slowly and it's like at a crouch in undercommon and say, hello there, friend. Can you hear me?
This figure in this armor turns around very silently, and you can see they have like this white kind of goatee-like beard and mustache. Otherwise, they are shaved in the head. They have lots of scars kind of decorating their skull. And they are holding like this fancy-looking stone helm under the crook of their right arm. And they turn around and they just give you like the rock, one eyebrow highly raised, and just stare at you and kind of like nod.
Good. I'm gonna reach out again with my divine sense to see if they are undead, celestial, or fiendish.
You get undead vibes.
Interesting. What is your name, friend?
And who calls upon me?
It is I, Artomis Starcaller, Lion of the Deep, sworn sword of Laertes, King of the Kingdom of Ember, and Savior of the Marketplace earlier today.
Did you just call yourself the King of the Kingdom of Ember?
No, I am the sworn sword of the King, which in many ways is kind of like cooler than the King, if you're asking me. I mean,
Yeah, he could just decide to not do his job and usurp the king.
yeah,
Sure.
I mean, we've all seen Game of Thrones. It's very thin line between not king and king.
I was gonna say it's just be like the Mountain turning on Cersei and just being like, I'm running this now.
Pretty much.
I was going more like Jaime Lannister, through the King.
Sure, but like comparing kobold size to your size, it's a little more like the Mountain and Cersei.
Fair.
Does he look like a bitch? Yes.
just turns around. Starcaller, what are you? Just one sweat. This guy, he looks at you and nods and is like, a warrior. Someone with relatable goals in a field and a taste for battle.
Aye.
I am Burrow Warden Jagger.
And Burrow Warden, what rouses you from your slumber?
You know that I am here and restless. Perhaps I can let go of this more corporeal form. And you see the color kind of fade, and they do become ghostly. And they kind of flitter up into the air, still presenting half of their form, but now kind of have this, more bluish white as we kind of relate to normal ghosts. Unfortunately, Mr. Starcaller, my brothers, sisters, and compatriots also cannot rest. And so I search for someone who can protect the burrows once again, and someone who can help us all find our home and place of rest.
It will be the honor of myself and my companions, one of which was in here as well, and one of which was out by the door, because they like to kill stuff, and I just didn't know what the vibe was. And, what do you seek? Is there what stops you from your rest? What calls you to this life?
I stay ever since the drow came. I hope to find a new sense of security for this city, to find the burrow wardens once again reinstated, and I have begun that search. The reinstatement shall be made known soon, but I personally cannot rest until my other wardens, also trapped within this ghostly state, are brought back to rest with our brothers.
So are there remains scattered here in the city, or the souls wandering the burrows here?
Some I am able to sense. Two, I believe I know where they lie. Another, I could not say, but they were quite secretive. As for the ones I know, there's my brother Vazik, who had a home, recently retired from the burrow wardens when the drow attacked. I believe they tried to save as many people as possible. But I feel something is wrong. Something is wrong within that home and with his soul. The other is Udhask, who disappeared into what I now am told is called the Rock Blight. There was a particularly nasty drow mistress who ventured there on her own, hoping to corrupt our use of spell gems. I have not seen from him since. His soul, I believe, is trapped within some kind of hardened state.
And you spoke of one who was secretive, one who you know not where they live, or where they lay.
Yes, that would be Leary Skyforger, our master smith. They took up arms when called upon as part of the burrow wardens, but they disappeared during the battle. It has been speculated for many years that they had a secret workshop somewhere here within the city, or perhaps just outside, where they molded our wonders of armor, secret tools, things beyond imagining. They hefted a hammer forged of star metal.
Fascinating. Indeed,
Yes.
Very fascinating.
Do you seek to help an old weary soul, and perhaps help me in reinstating the burrow wardens?
Aye, good king. We will aid you in
I
your...
am no king.
Oh, sorry. I'll try again. Aye, good burrow... And just warden, or like burrow knight, cave knight. You got what's the?
Oh,
You can say sir.
sake.
Sir is just fine.
Excellent, Sir Jagger. We will help you in your quest. We will seek out your brothers and see if we can lay them to rest, as we seek ourselves to bring security to this city.
Thank you. Now I'm afraid there are others that call for my attention elsewhere. And he drifts off towards the western wall and just disappears through it.
Well, Hester!
I'm right next to you. Literally right here.
Every time.
Have been the whole time.
Yeah. He seemed cool. I liked him. Yeah.
Yeah, he is not new.
He
No.
ain't new, that's for sure.
I think he was very old.
Well, yes, he speaks as if the drow came yesterday. the event he speaks of was nearly, I mean, at least a millennia ago.
Well, that would be quite a while. Well, yeah, let us head back to the gate, so Scylla is not just literally sitting there sharpening her sword or whatever she does when she's alive. I don't know.
I'm already halfway there.
He just like Artomis just walking back, kicking up his like lean-in paws as he goes in his like fancy new slippers. I used to be a stealthy one, but now I'm invincible. All right, Scylla. Well, good news.
Oh,
New
you have returned.
Yes, new quest.
Another?
Yes.
New subquest activated.
Yeah.
Side quest. God.
There's an awesome, cool, like, there's an old ghost guy in there. He's cool, though, so I don't know if it's going to help our friend, but yeah, he seems great. He's working on protecting the city. We're going to go help him with recruiting his fellow warriors and laying them to rest.
How? Where will we go?
Well, I think we just talk to the ghosts and give them a sort of unlicensed therapy, and then they go away.
Or perhaps...
And then they help guard the city? Or they are laid to rest?
I think they're laid to rest, but he's going to reinstate the knightly order that protects the city, so it's like a 2-for-1.
All right. I trust you.
What's everybody's passive perception?
20-something.
Okay.
No, actually, it's only 16.
I used to have the highest passive perception.
It's only 16.
16? Okay.
12.
14.
12. 14. Okay. Hester, as you've come out and you're now discussing with Scylla and Artomis, you, like, for some reason, you feel like you're being watched, and you look back towards the large doors, and you swear you see it, like, ever so slightly, like, swung, like someone had just walked through it.
Like, inward or outward?
Inward.
If I just, like, stick my head back in the door, do I see anybody?
Make a active perception check.
Okay. Ooh. 21.
Okay. Nice. Okay, you see to the far south around that southern wall with the curve that kind of protected the sarcophagi, you see what looks like an even smaller figure kind of run around and heading towards the west.
An even smaller figure. Okay. I'm gonna duck my head back in the door. Hey, I'll be right back. And I'm just gonna sneak back into the room and follow that figure down.
Okay. You are going this way because there is more space a little further south.
Yes.
And as you peek around there, you see what looks like a child.
No.
A child. No. Kind of disappearing over here to the far west where Borough Warden Jagger disappeared towards.
Okay. I'm gonna follow that path down.
Okay, you run over to the far west there into this corner, and you see that there is surprisingly tucked into this kind of nook another stone sarcophagi, unmarked, no names, no reliefs upon it, and no kid.
Is this the only thing in this little relief? There's no path beyond?
Nope.
Oh. Earthcarver, forgive me.
Sets a TNT charge, lights it, and runs.
I have exorcised the demons. No,
Fuck the wardens!
Hester is going to like climb up onto the sarcophagus, so he's like standing on top of the stone face of it.
All 3 feet of him.
And he's going to like put his ear down and like knock on it.
On the
Hello?
sarcophagus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody there?
You knock on it, and hear nothing.
All right. Can I... How big is the sarcophagus? Like...
It's medium sized, like big enough to hold a gnome or a human.
Okay. I'm going to scramble back down, and I'm going to try to open it.
Okay. Make a strength check. It's stone, my dude.
Yeah, well, it's gnome stone. Gnome's got to be able to open this bitch.
This gnome thinks he's a dwarf. He doesn't have stone powers.
12.
The lid doesn't move. And with a 12, you're smart enough to realize that it doesn't open like that. The lid doesn't slide off. It doesn't like pop open on hinges. Nothing. It just doesn't open.
Is there anything else around this room? Or like on the sarcophagus that would serve as a release mechanism?
Roll me an investigation check.
16.
Okay. You're searching. You're not finding anything in total time, almost 10 minutes has passed for Starcaller and Scylla. What are you guys doing during this time that they've been gone?
All I'm saying is that I do not know how we would even find a ghost.
Like, this ghost was just like hanging out, pretending to look like a real guy. So I just have to like be sort of near them, and then I use my divine powers, and then I sense them.
Is that like smelling them?
Yes, it is much like that. Yes.
So we will take you around the city, and you can sniff them out.
You know what? Yeah, we're gonna go with that. That sounds yes.
That sounds like it will take some time. Do you think it would be worth it?
Perhaps. I think for the most part, I think these ghosts, I think they want to be found. I think they want to be laid to rest. They might be in some sort of turmoil that prevents them from being able to do it themselves, but I think in general, they would prefer a state of true rest to their current kind of blockages.
I would like for them to be at rest. I think if you think that it is a good idea, I will help. Where, Hester? He's not back.
No, I guess not. Though I will say other things. So I think a few of these we're gonna one of them might be in the rock blight, so we're already going there. So I think it's again, stones, bird, going great.
Yes, clean plates. Lovely.
Wait, is that some sort of Triton expression? I have no idea what that means.
No, I thought we were just exchanging words that people have said in relation to the number of tasks that they have to do.
Very good.
Things on plates, multiple birds and bones, or stones.
Either way, yes. Let's go get our plates.
Yes.
The intelligence is outstanding in this party.
She's the smart one. She's the smart one.
I'm loving it.
You can be smart and not understand anything.
Absolutely. Charisma is not a strong point for everybody.
Yeah.
Hester, it's been almost 10 minutes that you're searching for this. And then all of a sudden, as you are like around the corner of both the sarcophagi and the stone, you feel like there's some kind of connection between the two that shouldn't be there. And as you kind of like, do you press on it or do anything with it when you feel that?
Yeah, I'll press it.
You feel it like slot down and then sink into the wall. And then you feel the sarcophagus just move out to the north and to the south, and it creates this opening, this little tunnel that you can fit through just fine. Anybody taller than you would have a hard time getting through, and it just leads out. And you see that there's actually some light coming from about 20 feet away, and it looks like it opens up into a larger area.
So if I were to go back and tell them, they probably wouldn't be able to get through this.
They would be squeezing, but they could do it.
Hester is a curious but not a necessarily stupid individual.
We just determined we might be
Not
kind
as
of
smart
dumb.
as me.
Well, you're book smart. He's wise.
Mm.
Like, I don't want to brag. My wisdom's a +2.
Mine's a +3. Get with it, girl.
Damn.
So yeah, with my superior worldly wisdom, this would not be smart to do alone. So he is going to return to his companions. They're still bickering. I don't know, something about plates and bones and birds and shit. He probably stands there unseen for like a solid 15 seconds while they try to handle the common language. So if you two are quite done...
Oh, Hester, you've returned to us. Wonderful.
Yes.
That is quite a talent.
It's becoming more, entertaining. Anyway, I followed a child into there, which neither of you were perceptive enough to see, which is a little concerning considering you were barring the door.
Well, if they were small and I was distracted, then that would make perfect. And what happened?
Followed them down, found a sarcophagus. It was not a sarcophagus, it was a secret door. And I found a tunnel leading to some larger area that I figured I might not want to investigate without backup.
Yes, you need help?
Very wise of you.
I've been told as such.
As you guys are discussing this, you hear footsteps coming from the cavern entrance in the staircases that you guys had come down from before. And they're like fast footsteps, like... What do you guys do as you hear these?
Scylla draws her sword.
Okay. the big great sword just woof.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like slip back into the shadows.
And I'll step forward and kind of meet them at the point of the hallway, at the turn, rather.
Okay. I picture Scylla like right around the corner with the sword ready to swing and just cut in half whatever's there. Starcaller steps out and you see that it is Glyphic, Shroomlight, that had sent you guys down before. And he's like, is everything okay? There are people that need to bring bodies down here. I thought it would just be a quick walk around and come back. It's been like half an hour.
Well, yes, I mean, we're investigating, Glyphic. These matters take time.
I can't postpone rotting bodies forever.
Well, to be fair, and I will step away from the shadows of the wall.
Oh, look, yes, you can do it too. We all can. Ooh,
No,
look at me.
hey,
In the shadow,
get-
I'm gone.
Get fucked. That's a Gloomstalker ability, not a deep gnome. You're gonna make fun of me. Do it right. No, I will. You did ask us to investigate dead people, so maybe you shouldn't have assumed that would have taken 2 minutes. Otherwise, perhaps you should find other lines of work.
Did you find whatever was causing the wailing and moaning?
We
Well,
found one such
yeah,
thing.
we are part of the way done. You know, like 50% complete. And good news, because you got yourselves a friendly ghost.
Great! Awesome! Wonderful! Is it in there at this very moment?
No, he's out recruiting his buddies. We're laying them to rest. It's a whole quest.
Yeah, seems like it's going to be a series of side investigations and retrievals, perhaps exorcisms. The jury's still out.
Awesome. So he's not there. I can let some people come down with their dead relatives then.
I do...
Actually, you know what? Go right ahead. You know, Hester, let's just do your thing and we'll just close it behind us on our way through.
Yeah, so hear me out. I found a thing. I'll be able to hide my tracks pretty quickly. I'm gonna go in, you count a minute. Count like a minute or two out.
I was thinking we just go with you, and then like this guy just.
What is happening?
You go get your friends. We
You've
won't.
got a lot of attitude going on for someone that asked for our help.
I literally just wanted to know if there was a ghost. You
Yes.
said yes.
You
The
wanted
ghost is not
you
there.
wanted a simple solution to a complex problem in your anxious ass temple. So perhaps you calm the fuck down, you let us do what you hired us to do, and you count to 60 seconds like I fucking told you, and then we'll be out of your hair.
Wasn't Jimmy with you earlier? What happened to him?
I killed Jimmy.
Find him and make sure that he knows where you are at. I'm sure he would love to know that. And he starts walking off.
That would actually be helpful, I suspect. We should do that. Also, I do not think we were hired.
But
No, there's no payment involved.
Oh.
Anyway, semantics aside, let's go to the weird topic
all right, go on.
before this man pops a fucking vessel.
Man, they are
All
just. Also, I mean, no offense, Hester, but is this why people don't like were-rats? Are you, like, mean to priests? Is that, like, a cultural trait?
No, I'm mean to everybody. It's a racial trait.
I am often judged for misunderstandings, but I am not rude. You seem to be rude.
Didn't you?
Ooh, hit him where it hurts. Get him. Get him.
Weren't you the first one to tell that man that he was inept?
That is true, still.
That is what they call radical honesty.
Your
That man's going to be
extremism
signed
is
up for
showing.
BetterHelp before the end of the day.
Mhm.
Anyway, I will lead them to the sarcophagus while we all therapize each other.
When you get back to the sarcophagus, it's closed again.
Okay. Can I press in on the stone and try to reopen it?
Yeah, you find the little latch again. You press it, the stone hisses apart, and the tunnel is there. However, where you saw light before, you no longer see light.
Interesting. Okay. I will enter in first. Apologies, it might be a tight squeeze for y'all.
No, we'll figure it out. Artomis will squeeze along after him. Or what he presumes is after him. Once again, I can't see him, and I may bump into him.
Yep, just face to butt. You guys squeeze through this tunnel, and when you appear out, you are in a very large, what looks like training room.
Oh.
You see dummies, you see half-empty weapon racks of very rusted old, axes, swords, picks. You see broken crates. You see to the south that there are cages of various sizes and manacles and some broken tables like desks. You see old rotted parchment. And you think this must have been some kind of secret training facility. And that's where we'll leave it today.
Well, boy howdy, how about the end of that episode? That was a good one, and I'm not just saying that at the end of every episode. But I am here with more news. Yes, this is another update for our outro. We've got a couple great things going on. The first of which is we're going to be launching our first sanity check, which is a new segment we're going to do every couple months to just update all of our listeners about the great things that we have going on. So kind of like an outro, but it's going to have the whole cast, and we'll be talking about all the different things in the pipeline that we're working on for the podcast. The first one of those is going to come out in April of 2023. The other thing that we're doing that is super fun is I'm actually running a one-shot with the gang. It's a little bit of a mini adventure. We've already recorded 2 episodes. We suspect there'll be 6, although depends on how they go through the story. So we'll be posting the first of those here pretty shortly as well. And then lastly, I just want to remind everybody about our socials. We've got memes dropping every Monday over on Twitter at The Madness Table. We've got an Instagram page that you can catch us on as well. And Will has been dropping some banger TikToks, so you can find us at The Madness Table over there as well. And I guess the last thing I'll mention is if you're interested in supporting us, if you're loving the show and want to toss a coin to your Witchers, that's us. It's going to be ko-fi.com/The Madness Table. And that's it. Until next time, when
the madness continues.